Disclaimer, I am not responsible for any loss in elo caused by you playing Ashe support. I recommend you research how to play Ashe support and support in general successfully before entering a ranked game. I am also not responsible for verbal abuse, harassment, or threats you may receive for picking Ashe support. Furthermore, I am not responsible for any nerfs to any champions, masteries, or items. This video was made purely for informative purposes. Batteries not included.
Ashe support or feed. This used to be a bit of a meme back in the day in League of Legends, as a number of trolls would come into Champ Select and type Ashe support or feed, basically hijacking the Champ Select to try and force a dodge. Nowadays though, since we've got predetermined roles, you don't really see it anymore. Further to that, the meta has completely changed. The items have changed, there have been reworks, there have been new champions, things have constantly changed, and well, now those Ashe enthusiasts may be pleased to hear that Ashe support now has the potential to be somewhat viable.
No, no, no.
Now, I know a few people will be freaking out right now a little bit after hearing those words.
No, 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 no.
But hear me out. Try and watch this video with a little bit of an open mind.
No, 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 no.
So why am I talking about Ashe support being potentially viable? Well, it's basically the new keystone, Stoneborn Pact. What it does is enemy champions who have been affected by your movement impaired abilities such as slows will allow your allies to heal from their attacks onto that champion, that enemy champion. And guess what, guys? Guess what? Ashe is probably the best champion to proc this keystone as many times as possible, as her auto attacks slow as well as her W. So every auto attack will proc this keystone. So essentially, if you play Ashe support, your AD carry will constantly be healing just about every single trade in those 2v2 trades in the bot lane, which sounds pretty good to me. I'm not going to go ahead and say this is going to be super OP or this is completely broken. However, I do still believe it has some potential and may be a worthwhile pick in certain matchups at least. So where did I get this from? Well, I saw a challenger player in North America testing out Ashe support in a few games and having some pretty decent success so far with it. He goes by the name Charong, correct me if I pronounced that wrong, but he's currently ranked 3 on his main account. However, he has been testing Ashe support on his Smurf account, which is also in Challenger, so he's got 2 accounts in Challenger at the moment. I will like to point out he is actually a jungle main, but he does play support every now and then. So the build he is currently going with on Ashe support is either Eye of the Watchers or Eye of the Oasis, followed by Ardent Sensor, Black Cleaver, and Runan's Hurricane. This build will give you 40% CDR, meaning your arrow or your ultimate will be up as often as possible mid to late game, and hitting your ult for picks along with the slows and healing is the main reason you pick Ashe support. So Ashe support actually provides a fair amount of utility, unlike someone in the past who has been a support, Miss Fortune, who doesn't really provide anything utility-wise apart from the slow from her E. In fact, the only reason Miss Fortune support became meta, or why people actually picked her, was because it was a hard counter to Zyra in lane, and her ult synergized really well with Ashe's ult, so Ashe would be picked as the AD carry alongside Miss Fortune support. So it was just a very situational pick. However, Ashe support I think can be played in a lot more matchups and potentially is going to be better than Miss Fortune support. You still don't really want to play Ashe support into hard engaged champs such as Rengar, Annie, and Jarvan. If you do, you probably will end up with like 1,000,000 deaths and get 9 times reported at the end. But yeah, definitely don't do that. Anyway, here's a quick look at the runes and masteries that can be used on Ashe support in case you're interested. So I think one of Ashe support's biggest strengths because of this new keystone would clearly be the early 2v2 trading in the bot lane. Often you would come out on top of a trade if your AD carry made use of the heal that they can get from the keystone Stoneborn Pact. Also, Ashe has very good poke in lane with her W, which can hit both enemy champions if you can get the angles right. So Ashe support's laning phase is definitely pretty solid, definitely not too bad at all. Then once you hit level 6, you can look for an all-in and get a very easy kill. Mid to late game, as I said before, I think it's all about getting those picks with your ultimate, and once you get Ardent Sensor in team fights, you'll be somewhat useful as long as you don't get instantly blown up because of the passive of Ardent Sensor, which provides healing and as well as attack speed to people that attack the champions that you are attacking, essentially. So Ashe's biggest weakness, however, will definitely be her being super squishy. As I said, she can get instantly blown up. So overall, I do believe Ashe support has some potential. Will it be a top tier pick? Probably not, but I think it is somewhat viable and can definitely work out. So we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out on it and see how well it does in the future, and is it really worth playing? Is it really worth playing to gain some elo? So before you jump into that ranked game, queuing up as a support or getting auto-filled as a support, if you want to play Ashe support, I ask you please to try it out in normals first at least. Anyway, this was just a quick little video letting you guys know of a potential new meta pick that we haven't seen before. I thought I would let you guys know, but anyway, this is going to be the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, drop that like button, and as always, have a nice day. No.